Hello my yarny friends, I'm Sara Sach and welcome back to Friday Fun Day. Well, what we're going to do today is we're going to make this trinket bag. It's kind of small. It measures just about 9 inches tall and it's about 18 inches all the way around, so it's not real big. And the reason that we're making this is I had a friend ask me, probably 6 months ago, if I could make a little trinket bag that had a drawstring on the back that was solid that she could take with her on her cruise. She wanted to stitch it up, and she has, and isn't it pretty? This one is made with peaches and cream. She wanted it out of cotton, and we're going to be working with some premier cotton for our demo, but we'll talk more about yarn later. And the reason that we wanted it this size is she wanted to be able to put like her wallet, her phone, and maybe a couple other things like some chapstick in there and be able to carry it with her everywhere without having to carry a big bag. And it has a nice long handle so she can wrap it around her wrist. And if you want it to be a crossbody bag, you can just make the chain a whole lot longer so you can wear it across your arms or across your neck through your arm. This is the size that she wanted. She wanted to be able to tie it and hook it to the loops on her jeans. I thought that was a really great idea. And it has a nice flat bottom. So it is a really nice size bag. It works up quickly and it's nice and solid. We use these front post, back post to make a nice condensed stitch. And so we're calling it the Drawstring Trinket bag. It can be used for lots of fun things, and it also makes a nice little purse for little girls as well. We added this keychain so she could hook her keychain on there or anything else she wanted to keep on there. And then I just added a little trinket or charm here. This is just a little coffee cup charm that I had. I'm not even sure where I got it. I had it in my button stash. And I have lots of other charms as well. Now you can find the complete pattern with pictures and all the pattern information on my blog. And as always, I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. To make our little trinket bag, you're only going to need about 3 ounces of a medium weight number 4 cotton. Now this one is made with peaches and cream stripy. The color of this one was the energetic pink, I believe, like we did our phone bag in a few weeks ago. This one here is called Beach House. And it's a nice striping yarn that when you work with it, you get these nice stripes. For today's demonstration, though, we're going to be using Premier Cotton Sprout in the worsted multis. 100% cotton, and this color is called Island Breeze. And she picked this out. She thought it would be perfect for her bag. The person that I made it for. I'm going to keep this one probably for myself, or maybe give it to one of my granddaughters. All right. I have another little charm here. It just looks like a little flower. It's got some little stones on it. And I found this teal colored clip to put on this bag. I think it's going to go good with that one. And so you need about 3 ounces of any medium weight number 4 cotton yarn. Although you can make this out of acrylic as well. I just preferred this pattern in cotton myself. We're going to be using an H hook today, which is a 5mm crochet hook. You'll need your needle for weaving in ends and then a pair of scissors. So we're going to start with that circle. So we're going to begin with our slip knot. We're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to join this into a circle and snug that down and make that little stay knot. Now you could use the magic circle or another method of making your circle here if you prefer. All right, so we're going to go in, pull up a loop, and chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. This chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. Now we're going to stitch 9 more double crochets, so we have a total of 10. You'll also notice I'm stitching over that tail of yarn, and that's so I can close up this hole nice and tidy at the bottom of my bag. We don't want anything slipping out of the bottom. Alrighty, let's see how many I've stitched so far. Our chain 3 counts as our first, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, let's join to our chain 3 with a slip stitch. And we're going to go ahead and chain 3. But before we go any farther, I'm going to grab my needle and we're going to go ahead and weave this end in and close up that hole in the center. We don't want any holes in the center of our bag. So I'm just going around, gathering it closed. And then we're just going to weave that back the way we came. There we go. Making sure it's nice and secure. Give it a good pull and clip. All right, so now it's closed up. We have 10 double crochets joined in a circle. We joined to that chain 3 and chained 3. That's round 1. All right, let's do round 2. Our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. We're going to double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3. Now we're going to stitch 2 double crochets in each of the double crochets around. So we had 10 double crochets on round 1, and for round 2 we'll have 20 because again we're stitching 2 double crochets in each of the double crochets around. We do want the bottom of our bag to have a nice flat bottom so that it gives us a little bit more room to stow our trinkets and things. All right, so 2 double crochets in each of our 10 double crochets around, and then we'll join back to our chain 3. We stitched a double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3 and then 2 in each around, so we have 20 double crochets. We're going to join to the chain 3 with a slip stitch and chain 3. Now round 3 is pretty much the same as round 2. The only difference is we're going to have a lot more stitches because we went from 20 and on round 3 we're going to have 40. Alright, so we're going to stitch a double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3. And then we'll go right in that next stitch and stitch 2 double crochets. 1 and 2, and then again we're stitching 2 double crochets in each of those double crochets, working all the way around. And again, this is going to help give us that nice flat bottom to our bag. So 2 double crochets in each of those double crochets around, and again join back to our chain 3. So again we stitched 1 double crochet in the same stitch as our chain 3 and then 2 double crochets in each around, so we have 40 double crochets. We're going to join to our chain 3 again with a slip stitch and chain 3. Now we're not going to be increasing anymore. All right, what we're going to do on this next row is we're going to place 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets, but we're going to be working in the back loop only. When you look at the top of your work, you'll see that there are loops on this side facing you. That's your front loop. The loops along the back facing away, that's your back loop, and we're only going to stitch in that back loop. All right, so we won't go in the same stitch as our chain 3. We'll go in the next stitch and stitch only in the back loop, and we're going to stitch 1 double crochet in each of the back loops only. So we won't be doing any increasing on this row at all. Now, when you look at your work, if you see this line of loops, that means you're doing it correctly because we're only stitching in those back loops. And this is going to help the bottom of the bag sit up nice and neatly. All right? So, For round 4, we're stitching 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets around, working in the back loops only. And we'll do this all the way around and join back to our chain 3. I have completed round 4, and you can see that line of stitches around where we stitched in the back loop only. And again, that's going to help our bag sit up nice. We're going to join to the chain 3 with a slip stitch, and again chain 3. And what we're going to do on round 5 is we're just going to stitch a double crochet in each of the double crochets around. We're not working in the back loop only on this row. We're just stitching 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets around. And what we're going to be doing now is building up the sides of our bag. 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets, working all the way around. And then we'll join back to our chain 3. I have completed round 5. See, we have 2 solid rows of double crochet. All right, I'm going to join to the chain 3 again with a slip stitch and chain 3. Now we're going to double crochet in the next double crochet. And remember, our chain 3 at the beginning of every row counts as our first double crochet. Now in the next 2 stitches, we're going to stitch what's called front post double crochet. So we're going to double crochet. We're just going to put them in the posts instead of in the top. So we're going to go around the post of the stitch and stitch a double crochet 2 times, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. Now we'll go to the next 2 and stitch our double crochets in the top where we usually stitch them. Now we're going to stitch in the 2 front post double crochets. Then we'll stitch 1 in each of the next 2. And so what we're doing is we're doing 2 regular double crochets and 2 front post double crochets. So there's 2 regular. Next 2 stitches will be 1 in each front post double crochets. 1 double crochet in the next 2. Those are regular ones. And 1 front post double crochet in the next 2. Now, one thing to remember is to make sure that you count those stitches correctly, because if you accidentally put one of your front posts underneath one of your regular ones, it's going to get your count off. All right, so it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 2 regulars, 2 front posts, 2 regular, 2 front posts, 2 regular, 2 front posts, alternating all the way around, and then again join back to our chain 3. I'm going to give you an angle on that so you can see how that looks. Once we get going on this, those front posts will be more visible and you'll be able to see them a lot better. I have completed row 6, stitching 2 regular, 2 front posts, 2 regular, 2 front posts all the way around. You're going to end on 2 front posts. Then we're going to join to that first double crochet with a slip stitch and chain 3. Now we'll double crochet in the next double crochet, and then we'll stitch a front post around the front post. And as we work this row, it's even going to be more apparent how those front post stitches work. And so again, we're stitching 2 regular double crochets and then 2 front post stitches. 2 and 2. And see how that makes it more apparent that you can see. It just makes a really nice stitch. It looks great. It's pretty and it works great for a nice close stitch. So what we're doing on round 6 is we are stitching 2 regular double crochets, 1 in each of the 2 regular ones, and 2 front post stitches, 1 in each of the 2 front post stitches, alternating every other, or I should say every 2, all the way around. And you'll be able to see that much more for the texture of it. Isn't that pretty? It's pretty and it's useful. All right, so we'll continue this working all the way around. And again, join back to our chain 3. I have now completed up through row 7, and you can see how those front post stitches really bring out the texture and make it really pretty. And it also sort of gathers it in a little bit to make it a more compact bag. And so what you're going to do is you're going to continue to repeat row 7 for 13 more rows. You'll join to your chain 3, double crochet, and then alternate 2 front posts, 2 double crochets all the way around and join back. And you'll repeat this. This is row 7 for 13 more rows. I have completed those additional 13 rows. Now we're getting ready to put 2 rows of single crochet on. If you decide that you want your bag even longer, you can continue to repeat that row until it's the length that you would like. All right, so what we're going to do is we've joined to our chain 3, and instead of chaining 3, we're just going to chain 1. And so we're going to stitch a single crochet in each of the stitches around. 1 single crochet in each of those double crochets. It doesn't matter if it's a front post or a regular, it gets a single crochet stitch. 1 single crochet in each, working all the way around the top of our bag. We stitched a single crochet in each of our stitches around. We're going to join to that first single crochet with a slip stitch and chain 1. And now we're just going to do 1 more row of single crochets, and this will give us a nice edge to the top of our bag. So 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets, working all the way around our bag. I have stitched that last row of single crochets. I joined to my first single crochet, and I'm going to cut my yarn. All right, now I want to tie off to the inside of my bag so it looks nice and neat. So I'm going to go in that next loop and pull that loop through and then tie off to the inside of my bag. And that just gives us a much neater finish. And then I can just take my needle and weave this in. And then the next thing we're going to do is our drawstring and then add our charms. All right, I'm going to tidy this up and then we'll do that drawstring. So the next thing we need to do for our bag is make our drawstring. So I'm just going to I decided to go with the lighter color so it'd show up better because we're going to be putting it across this row right here. And it's blue down here. And I just wanted it to show up better in the green, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and make my slip knot, and I'm going to chain 60 chains. And the length of the drawstring really is up to you. I like the 60, that's what my friend wanted as far as the length, but you can make it really long and wear it like a shoulder bag if you want to. So I'm just going to chain 60 chains. So I have chained my chain. And again, you can make your chain as long as you want to for your drawstring. I'm going to cut my yarn and tie that off. Now I like to make sure that's not going to come undone, so I give it a tug and then I'm going to tie a knot right in the bottom of that drawstring. And you'll notice I'm doing a second one. I just don't want it to come undone. All right, so let's go to the other side and we'll do that on the other side. now how we're going to do this is sort of up to you as far as where you want to put your drawstring. I'm going to be putting mine over to the side, and we're going to be going in and out on this row here, our last row where we did our front post and regular double crochet stitches. All right, so we're going to start over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go underneath all those front post stitches with my hook. I'm going to grab that and pull it through. All right, now we'll turn it a little bit more, and we'll go under those front post stitches and grab our drawstring, pull that through. Got a couple more to do here. There we go. All right, so that brings us back. And so now our drawstring is on. And you can give it a tug and see if that's the size that you want once it's on there. If you want it longer, just make another one. They're super easy to make. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this about, a couple inches up. It's up to you where you want to put that tie, and this is just going to keep it together. All right, now I didn't cut the strings on the other one. I'm going to on this one just a little bit. All right, so now our bag has a drawstring. Super simple, and it's easy to know where to put it through because we're going under all those front post stitches. So the last thing we're going to do is take our charm and just hook it on. All right, and I'm using this as the front of my bag, so I'm just going to take this hook and put it right over that drawstring. It's pretty tight, so there we go. Now, if you were going to use just the ring portion, when you're putting your drawstring through, you could put this right on there, okay? But since mine has a hook, I just used it. Isn't that cute? It goes nicely because we have the teal and the green. And I also want to show you the bottom. If you set it flat up, you've got you a nice bag that can hold lots of fun things, whether you're using it for a vacation bag or just an everyday bag. Like when you go to your kids' performances and you don't want to bring in your whole purse, pop your wallet and your phone in there and your keys, and you're ready to go. So here are both the trinket bags. This one's made with Peaches and Cream Stripy. This one is made with our Premier cotton yarn, cotton sprouts. And so they both work up nicely. And to be honest with you, they both feel a lot alike as far as the cottons. And by doing this front post alternating with regular, you get a nice compact bag that's going to hold all your goodies inside. Well, thanks for being with me today for our Friday Fun Day. See you next time.